What's up, Packers fans? Aaron Nagler here with just a quick look at the decision that Brian Gutekunst has to make when it comes to his former 2022 first-round picks, Quay Walker and Devonte Wyatt. The deadline for the decision on the fifth-round option is May 1st, so there's plenty of time. But wanted to take a bit of a surface-level look at why they will or will not pull the trigger here. First up, when it comes to Quay Walker, he's certainly been a punchy bag online for critics, fans, what have you. And yeah, his play was substandard for some of his tenure so far in the NFL. But I will say, especially since the bye week of this season, he really improved, came on big time, was very productive in Jeff Hafley's scheme, and then missed a bunch of games due to injury, which is, of course, unfortunate. He played 13 games on balance in 2024. He finished first on the team in tackles with 102. That's his third season having 100-plus tackles. Had 2.5 sacks. He also showed some ability to get after the quarterback in Hafley's scheme, which is promising. He had a career-high 9 tackles for loss. His fifth-year option would hover over $16 million. That's for 2026, and that would be fully guaranteed. Next up, there's Devonte Wyatt, who also had an up-and-down experience throughout his first few years in Green Bay, but certainly seemed to be coming on as a key inside rusher for Jeff Hafley's unit. Unfortunately, he only played 14 games this season, but still ended up with 5 sacks, which was good for second on the team. Rashawn Gary led with 7.5, but it was very clear when Wyatt was out there, he was productive, and it was frustrating not to be able to see him for a much longer stretch this year, especially down the stretch of the season where they really could have used his interior rushing. Ended the season with 32 pressures, the third most on the Packers defense, 23 tackles, and again, just down in and down out, a guy who is very disruptive. So you see the promise and the forward momentum when it comes to his career in Green Bay. Wyatt's fifth-year option would land just over $13 million for 2026, again, fully guaranteed. The long and the short of it, I don't see Brian Gutekunst pulling the trigger on either one of these. If there is one where maybe they have discussions internally about trying to lock him down for 2026, it's Devonte Wyatt. The scarcity of inside pass rush or across the league is reason enough to at least talk about it. But I do think they're going to want to see both of these guys on the field for a good stretch in 2025 before locking them up to whatever. Just because they don't pull the trigger on the fifth-year options doesn't mean they won't talk to these guys about a potential deal going forward. Maybe not a long-term with a ton of guaranteed money, but maybe something bridge-like we saw with Jordan Love, where you don't pull the trigger on the option. You're not sure about that fully guaranteed money, but you give him some security. You give the guy a little bit of guaranteed money with another year or two tacked on to hopefully see them grow inside this defense, because the promise is there. You can certainly see the trajectory and what you're hoping is going to occur. We've been here before as Packers fans. You don't have to look much further than the pulling of the trigger on Darnell Savage's fifth-year option. Maybe unmitigated disaster is a bit harsh, but it's not far off. There are going to be some decisions to be made all throughout this offseason. These are, I think, relatively easy in the great kind of scope of things. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do they pull the trigger on these options? And then tell your friends and tell your family. CHTV, we are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide.